Hello everyone, it is Christine here and I am back to announce the designs that we're going to be stitching for our stitch along this week. So for Saturday night stitch along, and where the video will be available afterwards. So just to recap, that we are stitching designs from the 1800s from this fabulous resource, the Briggs Patent Catalogue of Transferring Papers. I'll link below to all the details, the past video and the playlist I've got for this project. Anyone is free to join the stitch along, and you're free to join the live chat that we have when the video premieres on a Saturday night, 9:30 p.m. Melbourne time. So this is the design that I have selected, and it's got a dog design and a cat design. Now you may choose to just do one or other, or you might choose to do both like I am doing. And I've got an idea for how you might want to do it if you wanted to create a piece that was a bit of a memory piece. So I'm planning to use both designs, and I've already traced them onto my vintage piece of linen. This is a beautiful old doily. In fact, it's even, I just noticed it's just starting to fall apart on some of the edges. So this will be stitched down onto my gigantic heirloom family quilt, where I'm creating these sorts of focus pieces that I'm stitching and then collaging around them with laces and other bits of fabric and other stitchery. So I wanted to create a piece to remember pets that we have had and that have passed to the other side. So I decided to put the two, trace the two images from the transfer papers printout. So I just put this behind my doily on a window and used my friction marker to trace out the designs. Nope, that's not my friction marker there. My friction marker is here. So Pilot Friction, you can get them at supermarkets. And so I traced the dog down here and the cat here. I'm not worried that they're probably a little bit out of proportion. I just stuck with the size that is actually on the papers. If you wanted a smaller cat, you could shrink it down on the printer, or if you're just looking at this on screen and you've got like an iPad screen, you can shrink it down and keep your finger on the screen, and then that way you can trace around it. I prefer tracing off the paper. I just find it a bit easier. And then I've written down the names of the pets that we have had and that have passed right from when I was a tiny girl, when we had Sam, the dog, and Cindy, the cat. And I have early, very early memories in Mum and Dad's lounge room with the fire crackling in the fireplace, and Sam the dog curled up in front of the fire with Cindy the cat curled up just within the sort of the little curve created by Sam the dog. And Sam was quite a largish dog. He sort of had a bit of a Doberman look. He had that black and tan colours to him, and Cindy was a grey coloured cat, but they just, they loved each other. And then we've progressed through the years, having lots of beautiful dogs who sadly they do pass. We're so fortunate now to have Travis. I've got another whole piece that's just Travis focused that will be going on my memory quilt. So this is really about memories for the pets that have passed. So I'll be doing most of the stitching of the actual animals on the video that will be premiering on this coming Saturday evening. In fact, I think it's our change to daylight saving, so I might even make it 9 o'clock this week, I think 9 till 10, because then the clocks will be losing an hour in the process. So yeah, I might do a 9 o'clock start for this Saturday. Hopefully that doesn't throw anyone's plans out. But I thought now, while I'm sharing this, I might do some stitching with you and do the writing. So I'm thinking of using this lovely burgundy. It's a thicker pearl. I don't know if I can find a label on one of the pearls to tell you what number it is. It's a... Does this have a number? DMC. It says 3. Is that 3 or 5? I think it's a 5 actually, in terms of its weight. And so I thought we'll do some of the writing now, and then that way I can save the actual stitching of the cat and the dog for the video, for the premiere, for the stitch along video. And so for the other bits, I thought I Might use this sort of goldy colour for the names of the dog and the cats, unless I do the cats with a grey. I'm thinking I'll do the cat outline with this thread, and I'm thinking I'll use this beautiful, I hope there's enough of it, this beautiful silk, which has another thread caught in it, silk from Gumnut Yarns that I got second hand. It's 100% pure silk, hand dyed in Australia, and I just thought, oh, isn't that a lovely colour for the dogs? I'm not trying to depict a particular dog here. I'm trying to kind of, capture aspects of all our dogs in that one. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I've also got this beautiful thin grey, which I think was from Cottage Garden Threads, that could be lovely for the cat as well. So I'll keep those options. But let's first of all start with this. And what I did for the heart, let me see if I've still got it on my surface here. Not there. I basically just cut out a heart to the shape that I wanted it to be, and then I put it onto my paper. So I used the one that I'd actually cut out. All I can find now is the template that I had cut around, and then just traced around it to get the heart shape, and that way you can kind of have that predetermined, have it work. But using the friction marker is good. I'd actually originally started with the heart up here. I can even see that it's faintly showing. I probably didn't fully erase it with the heat, but it doesn't really worry me. It just means it's got a very fine imprint of a heart. So we'll put it in. I'll have to be careful not to damage my poor lace, because it is quite fragile lace. So I think I'm just going to loosen up my ring a smidgy ditch while we get it in. And I might not tighten it too much. I just don't want to damage something that's quite delicate. And then I've got some of the burgundy threaded up. And so maybe we'll do the heart first. I was thinking maybe we'll do chain stitch. I think chain stitch is nice. It's kind of like, I don't know, chains and hearts seem like a good idea. Although there's songs out there, Unchain My Heart, but so hopefully this piece gives you a bit of an idea. If you do want to do a little memory piece, you could do something similar. With the writing, I always try and make it a decent size just to make it easier to stitch, particularly if I'm using a thicker thread like this one. Otherwise it can get a bit hard, particularly the E's I find are the hardest when you've written really small. They can get a bit lost in the thread. So I hope you're having a great week. I'm filming this on Monday evening, but I probably won't post it, I don't think, until Wednesday. Because I've got by now I will have put out my blackberry video finishing. I'll just quickly show you. Finishing these beautiful blackberries, and they're all beaded and encrusted and lovely. Very happy with how they turned out. It's always nice when something kind of turns out the way that you hope it will. But I thought, why not kick this off, seeing I'm going to do this stitching anyway. I may as well do a bit of it with you. But this will just be shown as a regular video, not a premiere. But I'll save all the cat and dog stitching for the premiere. And then I better do some work putting all my lovely pieces that I'm creating onto my family heirloom quilt. Start getting some more pieces onto it, because the year is rapidly getting away from me. Something to do when your needle gets a bit twisted around is just hang it upside down for a bit. These aren't huge lengths of it. I think they were pre-cut in the way that they came on the little wrap. Try and get down to the bottom on this piece of thread. At least then I should know that I can get all the way around with another piece. So yes, even if you haven't joined in the stitch along so far, anyone is welcome to join. It's totally free to take part. All the designs are in the public domain, so I'm freely sharing them, and you can just pick if there's a design that you don't like from a particular week. Just find something else that you like from within the catalogue, and you can do as many or as few as you like. Some of the ladies were asking on Saturday how many am I planning to do, and I haven't really thought. There's just so many designs I love from the catalogue, and if I'm stitching, I'm very happy to sort of share it with all of you. So it's not hard for me to actually be sharing a video. I just have to make sure I get it done in time. That's why I thought I'd start on the writing tonight, because then I can film the rest of it and kind of get that loaded ahead of time, so people can put their reminders on for the stitch along video premiere. So just thread the next piece. Oh, it's not wanting to thread, always the way. Some of these are tricky because you get part through, but then it kind of unthreads itself. Well, not unthreads, but splits itself. So I keep going this way, I think so. Had to orientate myself. Which way am I going? This way. Do you ever do that when you're doing a stitch and you kind of stop it, you just get out of that rhythm and you're like, okay, what's the motion? Bring the muscle memory back. Sometimes I think too much about the stitch, and it's a bit like writing. Sometimes when you think about the spelling of a word, it just kind of goes out of your head. Or when you're really trying to remember a word or a name or something, it's just, it becomes harder because you're concentrating on it so much. A very strange thing today, my ears have been crackling away like little rice bubbles, or I think you call them Rice Krispies in the US. I think it could be, again, the allergies that have been causing my allergy cough, although it's a bit better tonight. I shouldn't say that, but I haven't been. Normally when I have also the cold water with dinner, and then it just makes me, sort of sets me off. It's like a little cold induced sort of asthma reaction. But I haven't taken an antihistamine today, and so far so good. So maybe the grass seeds, or that's what I suspect the allergies are from, maybe they're starting to dissipate. But really, not too much to complain about. It's more annoying than anything else. It does make you a bit self-conscious though, because I think we're all kind of conscious of when people are coughing around us. We kind of turn away. But it was so lovely having a long weekend, which we have just had here in Melbourne. It was kind of hard being back at work today. My brain was just like, no, I want to keep stitching and creating and going on picnics. I told Travis this morning, I said, you can have a rostered dog's day off. That's an RDO. Well, actually an RDDO. I know the building sector, they often have a RDO, a rostered day off on a Monday. But Travis gets a RDDO off every single day, apart from when he's entertaining us on the weekend and we take him on picnics and adventures. He loves it, but I think he also needs his rest afterwards. He's definitely an adventurer dog though. He does love getting out and about and new smells, and we're so sad for the dogs that live in a property that sort of is diagonally across from the back of here. They just never seem to go out. I kind of wish all dogs had as good of a life as Travis has. that's worked out really nice if I do say so myself. Let's straighten up the fabric a bit. I might need to give it another slight tighten. I just don't want to tear anything. That's better, I think. I still wonder how they got things so neat on the front and the back on some doilies and tablecloths. I'm working on another little project at the moment, which is a tablecloth conversion into a top. And yeah, sometimes I get confused which is the front and the back because it's just so neat. Okay, put that in my orts jar and then we'll grab another piece. It's good to be using these vintage threads because I've actually got a lot of these pearls, including that thicker one that you saw. So I should use these. And this is the perfect colours again because it's going on my family heirloom quilt. I've got these maroni colours, browns, greens, golds. That's kind of my colour tone. But I want to do the grey for Cindy and for Winky because they were both grey coloured cats. So I'm just going to do, I think, I probably don't even need to do split stitch because this is kind of thick enough that I think it fills the gaps between where the stitches are. So I'll just do sort of forward and back. I think the split stitch might actually end up getting just a bit too thick. I do like that sound of needle through fabric. I will have to be gentle because it is definitely a vintage piece. So yeah, just a back stitch seems fine for this. So yeah, I'll include all the details below this video in case you haven't come across our stitch along yet and you want to join. Everyone is very, very welcome. It's just so lovely when we can kind of share in projects and conversation together. And doing the premieres means that we can be chatting at the time that it's showing. So when I do the premieres, I've already filmed the video and uploaded it, and that leaves me free to chat in the text chat while it's playing, which I just love. My favourite way to spend a Saturday evening. I've never been a big one for clubs or going out to the pub or any of those things, even when I was younger. wasn't really my thing. If only I discovered slow stitching, if only it was kind of happening all those years ago. Although I think there's always an expectation when you're young, you sort of think, oh, but I should be doing those things, I should enjoy those things. But as you get older, you're just like, nope, that's not my thing. I'm going to do the thing that brings me joy. And the more you do that, the more joy I think you can put out into the world as well. Kind of, perpetuates itself. Finding your bliss and following it. Just checking that I haven't got any knots on the back. Nope. You know, sometimes when you're stitching and you think your thread looks a bit shorter than it should, and it's always good just to check. So with my writing, I just free-handed that again using the friction marker in case I need to sort of erase it if it's not where I want it. But you can also print it and then trace it if you didn't want to be handwriting it. It's good to have something straight underneath. I was using a book that had sort of lines on the cover when I was writing it because I could just see the lines faintly through. And again, you could always write on a piece of lined paper and then trace it. So lots of possibilities. And I just lined it up so the heart was kind of central in the middle of the doily. As I say, the dog and cat designs are slightly different sizes, but I've just sort of balanced them on either side of the piece. Looks a bit bodgy there, so I'm just going to put an extra stitch in just to join these two up. One sort of sitting a bit further across, but hopefully if I can bridge them with this stitch, they'll look better. Yep. It's quite a long tail on that always, but I think any of those little quirks in writing, it makes it look hand stitched, handwritten, handcrafted. I remember when I used to be terrified, well, not terrified, but not feel confident doing stitched writing. But I've done it so much now that it's kind of become second nature. Because this is going on quite a large quilt, that's why I'm using the bolder threads, whereas on that swan piece that I finished as part of last week's stitch along, I used just fine sewing cottons, because that's going into my nature journal, which is just going to be viewed on a display shelf, so that can be a bit finer, but this will be on a large quilt that will be hung. So just tie that off there. I can probably get in done with this, I think, hopefully. I can at least get the eye done. And this doily has little bits of staining on it, but I think that just definitely all adds to the charm. Now I think I'll just do a little French knot for the top of the eye. I think that'll look okay. Make sure it's tight enough. I'll just give a little kick up on the bottom of the eye. Sometimes just those little quirks that make it nice to look at. Sometimes I'm thinking how many projects I've got on the go at the one time. I'm surprised I can kind of hold it all in my head. In fact, I was tidying up yesterday, and I went through my basket of either in progress or ideas I've got, where I've kind of pulled out bits and fabric and other pieces, and there's so much in there. So never going to run short of things to share with you, that's for sure. Because I always want to be doing more, making more, using more. I've got a lovely delivery of goodies as well, which I might share as thrifty, although I've actually got some other Thrifty Thursday goodies, and these are, what are they? They're upcycling goodies, so I think they'd fit with Thrifty Thursday. Might have to be a bumper one this week. Now that I've got this, plus I've got the Roxy project and Thrifty Thursday, and we'll be getting a new prompt for the Roxy project this week. It was something I was almost going to pick out for our design for stitching this week, but I thought, maybe that will be a Roxy prompt, and so we can always do that as well as part of the Roxy Field Notes. So at least this gives you an idea how long it sort of takes with the writing and doing a motif like the heart. So I might do one each of the names of the pets on this video as well, and then I can finish off the rest of the writing, and then in the premiere you will see the stitching of the dog and the cat, which is really just line stitching. I think it will be okay in that Wonderfeel pearl cotton. Hope so. That's a number 6, so it's the next size down from this one. I think that's how it works. So again, just putting a little tail on the U. Do the R probably in one go. Again, this won't be getting a lot of wear and tear on it. It's not going to be a quilt used on a bed. It's a quilt for display, not made for washing. Okay, so we'll keep that over with our other threads, and yeah, let's do a little bit of Cindy. So this is where I was thinking I will use, yeah, I think that will work quite nicely if I use this goldy browny colour for all of the names, I think, and that will unify all the pet names, and then each pet will be a slightly different, well, a different colour. So let me know if you're thinking you're going to do a piece to remember your beautiful animals, or animals that have meant something to you. Oops. So with this thread I might do a split stitch. So I do like that as an outlining stitch when the thread's a bit thinner. So I probably don't actually need to do, because all these names are going to be the same, so I might even just do this one, and then I'll let you go. You might be heading off to do some tracing. So yeah, I'll be popping a copy of the image on my community post page here on YouTube, and also in the Facebook group, which is Slow Stitching Friends. That's where you can find the designs and the reminders, read the premieres, and you can also post your pictures of what you're stitching as part of this stitch along, but also other things. I'm very happy as long as it's stitchy and sort of our little community related, not for selling anything. It's just about sharing in our slow stitching community. Created it originally when we were doing our stitch along of the A to Z of embroidery. It was a nice place that people could share their beautiful stitching. And it's just so lovely to be back, communing with others. Oh, and I've done my Just Because jar of my little jar giveaway, where I where I pop people's names who have been posting comments on my videos. Not a particular video, I just look for people that are kind of, watching over a period of time. And the winner of that draw that I've just done today is Jacqueline Knox. Now, I've posted a message to Jacqueline Knox on one of her recent comments so she can get in touch with me. But yes, just in case she hasn't by the time this video is showing, Jacqueline, check my replies to your recent comments, and yeah, get in touch with me at my email, and I will put together a bespoke slow stitch package for you. Now I have a notch. Let's see if we can untangle said knot, or are we going to have to... I feel like I should be able to untangle it. Maybe I'll just take my needle off. Just feel like if I can get the thread through, then I might just be able to work out what's going on. No, it seems quite strongly. Nope, I think we're going to have to tie that one. We might actually just put a stitch over that, I think. Just have a go at pulling that through here, and then I think we might stitch over it. Sometimes you just have to cut your losses, literally. I heard a presenter on the radio the other day. He hates when people use literally where it's not a literal, like saying something like that person was literally on fire when they weren't actually on fire. But I think in that case, cutting my losses, my loss was a knot and a, so I think that's fair enough. I actually use scissors, so that's a literal. Not this afternoon, this after lunch, when I took Travis out for a walk just round the block, two dogs had escaped and their owners were chasing them down the road. So I did the Good Samaritan thing, and I ways back down the road, and there were cars coming. They come, reasonably fast. It should only be a 50k zone here, but they come fast down the road, and so I had my hand up and I was waving them down to slow down and to let them know that there were dogs loose on the road. So I'm hoping the owners managed to catch them. I had Travis with me, so I didn't really want him to be going down and seeing dogs sort of running crazy around. So I just did the traffic management instead. Because there'd be nothing worse than having an animal have a horrible accident. That's actually why we stopped having cats when I was a kid, because my beautiful Winky was my lovely sweet cat that I got to pick out, and unfortunately Winky got hit by a car. It's hard with cats because you can't necessarily keep them contained. Or it's certainly when we were growing up, cats didn't kind of stay in the house all day and night. They'd be in at night time, but during the daytime they'd go exploring. Whereas with dogs, obviously, they can stay with you. But I think if I ever did have a cat now, I don't think I'd be letting it out. But I think Mum and Dad's solution was just no more cats. But we always had so many animals. I might tell you some stories of that in the video on Saturday night. Some funny stories too. As I say, I'm not worried about the little stains on the design. I could always tea dye it if I was, but for my family heirloom quilt, it I think it goes nicely. And I just love that I'm now getting to really profile some of these beautiful doilies that otherwise I probably wouldn't be putting on the piece whole without something in the middle of them But this way it's, yeah, making them into their own heirloom pieces. This project could not have, this stitch along could not have come at a better time, really. I think that's why when I saw the designs, I just thought, yeah, they'll be perfect for my quilt, but also for Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. And why not share them? I'm sure some folks would like to join in. But I do know that so many people have so many different projects on the go. The good thing is for those doing the Just Because quilt with Corinne, these are just the perfect thing to add to that as well. It's funny because I've been working on my family heirloom quilt since the Roxy Journal of Stitchery treasure hunt project, but now there's so many folks doing different versions of slow stitch quilts. And the lovely Railway Cottage is now on YouTube, and she does amazing slow stitch quilts. Again, she takes a different approach, so I kind of like that this approach that I'm taking. It's not copying anyone, it is my own style. So that is the Cindy. And so I'll just continue on doing the other lettering in the same way, so I won't make you watch that. And then tune in if you would like to for the stitch along on Saturday Australian Eastern Standard Time. I think I will do it at 9 o'clock, so 9 till 10 o'clock on Saturday, which will be the equivalent of 11 o'clock once we change daylight saving. So thank you for watching, and check the details below this video by clicking the little more on the description, and you'll get all the information on how you can get the design and join in and post your pictures, etc. Thanks everyone. Bye.